When did you start shooting?
I started shooting when I was 8 years old. I started shooting because my parents wanted me to learn more about basic marksmanship and handling a weapon safely, and just kind of took off with the sport that way.
Now, what did you enjoy about shooting? So obviously, you've been doing it for a while now. Mm-hmm. So what keeps bringing you back to it? What do you enjoy?
The thing I enjoy most about the sport is the winning and the competition. But throughout the time that I've spent training and competing, I've learned to enjoy learning more and constantly progressing and seeing improvement day to day as I continue to train more.
And what is your typical day? Because obviously being at the Army Marksmanship Unit is not necessarily the typical Army day. So what is your typical day at training to compete on the world stage? So
typically I show up at 7:30. I'll do a little warm up and then I'll start shooting. I'll be on the line training from 8 to noon every day. That's actually 6 days a week. And then 3 or 4 days a week, I'll also come in the afternoon and train another 2 hours roughly. So between 4 and 6 hours a week. And with that, I'll do a lot of work training the competition format mostly, about half the time, just to get used to different tactical situations that I might be in. And then I'll also work on the technical side for the other half of the time, just trying to improve my little aspects of my performance, 1 or 2 pieces at a time, just to build up, make myself a better shooter.
And because you shoot air rifle and small bore, so which one do you like better?
Depends on the day. Sometimes I like air gun. They're similar and different in a lot of different ways. So I shoot standing in both guns, and over the years I've tried to get the positions, because the rifles are different, I've tried to get the positions closer and closer to each other. So if I'm enjoying standing and I'm shooting standing well, I can enjoy both of them. But if I'm struggling a little bit, sometimes I like small bore more because it's 3 positions. So I have 2 other positions. In my opinion, it highlights the work a little bit more. It's easier to train and become proficient in all 3 positions, and it doesn't rely on one day being the day as much as air rifle.
So for those that are not familiar with the sport, go ahead and explain what the air rifle is. So
air rifle is 60 shots, all standing, no optics, open sights, and it's offhand, so there's no slings, no rests, no stands, anything like that. They're all shot. We use a canvas suit, and then we have an hour and 15 minutes to shoot those 60 shots.
And that's what size is your target in air rifle?
It's about the size of a period in the newspaper.
Okay, and then for small bore, explain small bore.
So small bore is 3 positions. So it's kneeling, prone, laying down, and standing. You shoot 40 shots in each of those positions, and it's a block time limit of 2 hours and 45 minutes. With prone and kneeling, you get to use a sling, and then standing again is without any support. So the target for 50 meter is about the size of the colored part of your eye.
What would it mean for you to make Team USA on either team or both teams?
It would be a childhood dream come true. Ever since I saw this sport, I saw it pretty early at a young age, right when I started shooting. Saw a couple Olympic gold medalists in the sport of shooting and really set the goal right off the bat to do that. So this is a step towards the goal of winning Olympic medals and becoming the best in the world, which is the end goal. But in the meantime, I've wanted to be an Olympian for 15 years or so now, so it'd be a really awesome validation for some of my goals and all of the work that I've put in.
So explain that mental discipline it takes to compete on the international level.
So yeah, controlling your emotions and your thoughts at all times is huge, I think, in any sport, but ours is so mental that really applies, especially with how consistent things have to be. I have to do the same thing every single time for 60 or 120 shots, depending on the event. And if I mess up, it's pretty obvious in the outcome. So I need to be able to control what I'm thinking, how intense my focus is, and any emotions that I'm feeling, just to be able to focus the way I want to on an individual shot. And then on top of that, you have the physiology that goes into it. If it's a stressful situation, the last shot of a good match, the first shot of Olympic trials, all of those, you can get a spike in your heart rate, some tremors, sweating, things like that. So being able to manage those, finding different techniques like breathing to be able to manage the physiology of it, and then get my emotions and thoughts in check to be able to put a good shot downrange is what we've been training for.
What was your journey to come to the Army Marksmanship Unit? 'Cause it's obviously a very unique unit. Not everyone that joins the Army is going to make it here.
We'll start back when I was, 12 years old was my first competition, actually down here in Fort Benning, Georgia. So that was the first time I learned about the Army Marksmanship Unit. I've shot a couple of different camps, junior camps and stuff like that the Army Marksmanship Unit has hosted. So I spent some time talking to the different soldiers in the Army Marksmanship Unit and learning how they train and the culture that they have on the team here. And as I went through college, I kept that in mind, and looking for a place to go, I realized that going here would help me fulfill my goal to be the best in the world. So I reached out, and we were able to make it work that I could come here and join the Army Marksmanship Unit straight out of basic training.